have done is beyond biblical. And if I have some time left here on this planet in this dimension, I will do my part to make sure that this can never happen again to humanity. Very simple.
Joining us now on Sovereign Radio, a much anticipated discussion with a true patriot, a man that will shed a lot of light on many subjects today. His name is Pascal-Sovereign. He's currently serving with the United States Space Force, and he'll talk about that. Pascal, it is so good to see you, my friend. Welcome to Sovereign Radio.
Yeah, Scotty and all of your team, thank you very much for having me. And right at the outset, I would like to say special thanks specifically to all brave men and women that are serving the active war duty service with the United States military and all other allied military and special forces that are under our command and control since the 20th of December 2019. When President Trump's first mandate declared a global defense war. And that is Title 50 USC 1550. Those people are brave men and women in wartime people, and we should say thank you to them. God bless them, because they are fighting for your liberty, for our liberation from oppression. They are securing peace for the divine human species worldwide. And it is, I want to add that, make no mistake, the most deadliest, brutal war and the largest ever assembled, commanded, controlled war machine since the beginning of our existence on our divine earth. So people should have respect for veterans also, because they're supporting the background. Some of them have been called back to service, as you know. And don't compromise your daughters and sisters and brothers and sons who are in the service now. Don't ask them, you have to tell me where you're going. They can't tell you because they're under military orders and secrecy. Logic, we're in wartime, right? And this is good that way, because let's agree to that. More than 30 forces are under our command. Nothing has been leaked, right? And this is bravery. This is bravery. War is stupid normally, but this war is bravery because it's for the liberation of humanity. So
we'll come back to the war. We'll come
sure.
back and talk a little bit more about this global war. I'd like to start by telling our audience a little bit about Pascal, your background, your upbringing in Switzerland. Tell us a little about you.
I don't want to talk much about myself, but I want to give your audience a bit of a picture. I was born in Switzerland, right in the middle. That's like your Chicago, on the lake too, in Lucerne. It's a medieval town. And, you know, my father was a banker, an industrialist. We built hydrofoils. Those are the ships that fly on wings. They're outdated now, but they were very fashionable and fast for the Navy too in the 60s and then into the 70s. And then he became a banker. I grew up in a normal village, normal public school. We call that in America a one-horse village, you know, and then you got a sheriff and, you know, got a bakery and you got a bank and a post office. An idyllic village, you know, peace, right? We had no clue as kids. We were in Switzerland. We were far away from ugly, wrong wars that unfortunately have been fought commanded by the deep state. We'll come to that later. So I went to banking because I was not very good in school. I was not very good. I thought they're stupid because the teacher told me 1 to 9 is the largest number, 9. And 3 weeks later, she comes and says, now we go decimal, and comes with add 0 to 1, and that's higher than 9. I said, madam, you're wrong. And she said, shut up, learn, and make your grades. And that's how we got. That shows you we were accepting lies from primary school still, where our instinct said, wait a minute, that doesn't add up. Literally not. 1 and 0 is still 1, right? Not 10. That's where we're going here in this discussion. So I went to banking because it was the easiest thing at the time in the 80s. Banks were hiring, right? The Swiss banks were making money all over the place. And to the outside, it looked very clean. It looked suave. It looked proper. The army, our military, was full of ranks of directors and so-called, today you call them CEOs, but at that time it was the president of the bank and board members, main board members, executive board members. They all were officers. So the army structure and banking were like this, together, interwoven. And I didn't like it. And then I went to the military for 2 years, Air Force. And then I had to get a job. I mean, somebody said, look, either you go military, but Swiss military professional is boring because it's a small country. The military is relatively small. We had the Cold War going on, but I realized between the lines that this is a cat and mouse game, that the Soviets they're not really coming into Switzerland, forget it, or Europe, no way. Like today, they don't do that. So I went to banking and I didn't like it and went then to public relations. And there I had the first shock in my life. I saw how they're made of, I don't say the word now, dirt, marmalade, PR. And that's why we end up in this tyranny that we have today, partly. Fake news, right? President Trump, fake news, he's right. Let's call it corrupt news. It's maybe more closer to
I
the
think
reality.
that's a better title, corrupt.
Yeah. Fake news, it can slip up sometimes and exaggerate a bit, but this is corrupt news. This is lying to the public. Misinformation. This is deception. This is subversive, unconstitutional even, dangerous for the people to misinform them about health, COVID. We'll come to that later. So I did all that. And my father and I didn't work together with him. He was a banker. We had banks in Asia, in the Middle East, in Bahrain, it's in the Gulf, next to Qatar. So we were not a poor family, for sure not. And I'm a single kid, but I was bored with all this things around me, the luxury. I wanted to do the job. So I had to go from the fax machine, coffee machine. I didn't study, right? So I didn't have any higher degrees. So it's a bit tough, a bit rough. And I ended up in the international department and didn't like it. I went to PR as I go back. Sorry, I'm a bit drifting a bit. And then this was for me a bit of a shock, and I didn't like it. After 1 year, I resigned from that post, selling Canadian funds. And then it happened when Merrill Lynch said, we want you to build Merrill Lynch Capital Markets in Switzerland. Okay, that was interesting. Flying Concorde, you're, how old was I then? 23. Come on over to New York, the big world, right? And I've done that myself, not daddy picking up the phone. Hey, can you take my son? And, no, not at all. And I had fun doing that. And I specialized in the East, Hungary, Baltics, and Poland, which was totally corrupt, bailed up by the IMF. Now we know why, World Bank. And then Croatia was in a war. And I took care of I call them the kids in trouble, protect them. Croatia was a victim of Clinton and Douglas Hurd. Croatian war was an instigation of the deep state to splinter up and to get NATO closer to Russia. And I did everything I was Merrill Lynch, remember? So I did policy-wise, I did everything against what Washington wanted to do and London.
So you were working for the deep state?
Huh? No.
You were working for the deep state?
No. I give you an example. No. By the way, Merrill Lynch is the only non-Jewish bank on Wall Street, a firm. Of course, they did stuff which I didn't like these structured products and all this crazy stuff which brought down the banks later. We know that. That's why I resigned from Merrill Lynch, because it got too hot. I said, I was not a trader. I was advising government. So I never touched money. I never made super bonuses like the other guys making $20 million bonus, $40 million bonus. Some guys had a Learjet at the age of 27. And come on, crazy. Didn't add up. And then the Germans hired me. They said, we're buying Kleinwort Benson. The oldest, that's cabal. That's the blue blood of the British Crown. So I was put right in the middle in London. But I was a board member then at 29. And I said, what do you want? I said, I want the whole territory. I want Russia. I want Central Europe. I will take Africa. I was like Rommel. And I want the Middle East.
You have a lot of good news to share today. I want to start with the overarching theme. You talk about there's no more need for fear. We know the mainstream media, one of their most important tools is everything's about creating fear, putting fear in the hearts of the people. Tell us why we don't need to fear anymore.
I make this statement first to calm the people, because I know you all have suffered worldwide an unfathomable pain. Also, we lost a lot of people, but we'll come to that later. Have no fear. I promise you this now. That's a promise. I don't need to swear. Swearing is satanic. We don't need to do that. Two informations. God is in you. Every chromosome, DNA, has the code of God. I'm not kidding you. This is true. It will be communicated properly. Religion was fake news. You don't need religion, because God is right in you. Now, if you have something on your mind, believe me, he knows it already. But we were diverted. So have no fear. Fear was a tool of the obliterated Satan. And when I'm saying obliterated, I mean it. Our earth is divine because it was God that created the universe. The Bible lied, right? It said, he came, I came, and I created. It's a very simple logic sentence. I say, oh, really? In the Bible, God, you came really into our land and then you created the universe. Well, how does that going to work in physics, huh? You see, the lies are everywhere, but people don't take the time to read anymore or to listen. When President Trump, and people, please, this is not about Republicans or Democrats. Democrats are bad people. That's my own opinion. And they're satanic. But let's take politics out. But your president, mine too, my commander-in-chief now, said at the APEC, well, not APEC, was it APEC, CPAC? CPAC, right? In Washington,
CPAC,
March.
yeah, CPAC.
CPAC, APEC, Jesus Christ, no. CPAC, March 23, he said, very loud and clear, I will totally obliterate the deep state. Boom. People, please understand, if a head of state and in this case, it's the head of state of the most powerful military in the world, President Trump says that on stage, if he doesn't pull it through, or if he wouldn't have done it by then, guess what happens to his credibility? Gone, right? Anybody who says that, such a strong statement, in such a position, will be ridiculized and will be losing all credibility, and people will be scared of him because they will say, okay, the guy said something and didn't do it, right? It's scary. He lost control. No, it's the opposite. You say these things when it's done, right?
Yeah, I was going to say it had to be done for him to say it.
It was done. Ladies and gentlemen, especially American citizens, but also world citizens and divine humanity, and we're talking about that later, why divine. Have no fear. This war was actually officialized by President Trump, current wartime President Trump and Commander-in-Chief of the United States, on December 20th, 2019. It's now visible in the congressional website of the United States, house.gov. Just type in Google 50 USC, United States Code, USC 1550. And please read. We urge you to check and verify. You need to check, and otherwise you need to double check what we're telling you. This radio program today with these wonderful people from Sovereign Radio, we're doing this to inform you about facts, and we only make reference now on purpose only on .gov, United States Property.gov resources. Make that very clear. Bring that message home, please. We need you to double check, because only if you read it yourself, you understand why I'm talking like this. So yes, have no more fear. It's done. The war started actually with Abraham Lincoln. Q. Yeah. But it was JFK, the hero, and the cool dude, really cool. And he's alive. He's chilling right now. He started the massive Q, military operation. And his assassination was a lie, had to, because the man had a lot of better things to do to take out the deep state. And you're lucky today, all of you listening, that you're alive to witness it. It's not against Russia or China. In fact, if you read the declaration of war of the 20th December 2019, it says calling on regular and irregular partner military forces and special operations. This means it refers basically to Executive Order 13818, which is now in the .gov White House. And let's agree, we don't have to discuss Biden, the actor, anymore. Like, I don't know where I'm going. He's Arthur Roberts mostly. It's all fake news. The White House is fake news. Biden is fake news. It's in Mar-a-Lago because we published the FAA missile defense, the no-fly zone. You get shot down if you fly your Cessna over Mar-a-Lago because it's a military no-fly zone since quite some time, protecting the current wartime president and his family. Normal, right? The White House is closed, will be bombed. We'll bomb the White House, full of satanic history in there. Not Kennedy's, of course. But it has. But go back to facts. Executive Order 13818. I would like to read that, and I do paraphrasing because I don't want to read it from a paper. I've read it so many times. It popped up on the 18th of December 23 in the White House website, whitehouse.gov. We can agree it's not a private blog. And it says continuation. Executive Order 13818 is a national emergency, declaration of a national emergency. And I really would like to emphasize the words. People, please analyze the English words. National emergency. A flu is not a national emergency. COVID was fake, so it's not a national emergency. If I'm a commander-in-chief and I have foreign fantasy fighters bombing Florida, Miami, bombing California, yeah, that's a national emergency. Pearl Harbor is a national, it wasn't, well, fake, but that event, that's a national emergency. Of course, if California would be split through an earthquake, that's also a national emergency, but non-military. But here it says, the prevalence, means the occurrence or the existence of serious human rights abuse and corruption. So analyze the word serious. That serious human rights abuse means killing people. Okay, it's not the professor in school that gives you I got one, when I did a rude answer, I got one in the face. I mean, not the fist, but a clap or on the finger. No, human rights abuse, we know, we don't have to go there. It's ugly. Killing people, hurting people, torturing people, and poisoning people, which have their source in whole. So hang on a minute. Source in whole means a threat from outside or in substantial parts. That means about 80% outside of the United States. Then the word comes continue to pose. It is law that this was written on the 20th December 2017. Q guys, 17, huh? By first mandate President Trump. Continued. It was continued all the time. A national emergency can only be continued normally for 2 years. And after 2 years, the national emergency will be void unless the president extends it. So you're telling me 2017 has been extended, hop, into 24.
By the Biden administration, supposedly, right?
Yeah, signed by Mr. Robinette Biden. By the way, the real Joe Biden that we shot is already, I mean, he never signed as Robinette R. Go and look it up in the archives. It's Joe Biden, the traitor. And the whole signatures, we published all the signatures. So let's not talk about Biden. Of course, the wartime president signed it, of course. But the wording continue to pose as a unusual, extraordinary threat to the national security, meaning a unusual, extraordinary, out of the norm threat against the United States national security. That means against the massive US military machine that we have, 800 bases. Are you kidding me? And to foreign policy and economy. Well, what was that? That was an attack on the United States with a bioweapon, military-grade bioweapon. It was not the virus, it was the injection. And it came from my home country, back home. This is the greatest shame. That's good, because we smoked them in nuclearized Switzerland, but not with nukes. Switzerland is the base of all evil. I have to say it now. I'm no longer a patriot of the Swiss government or the Swiss flag. I am still supporting, protecting the Constitution. That's why I joined your military, the Space Force. Because when I found out that this is a military-grade bioweapon, and I found out that it was constructed, engineered, orchestrated, financed by the Swiss government, and WHO and the UN, all these people are there, right? And Gavi, Bill Gates. I had to quickly decide what I do, right? I'm a military guy, Swiss Army. I said, okay, I protect the Constitution. I sent a report to your DOD, to your Secretary of Defense at War, and delivered all the facts on my poisoning of Pfizer and the corrupt judiciary of Switzerland, all corrupt, all of them. That means they're war criminals. They are crimes against humanity under this 13818. So the source of this crime came from Switzerland, financed for Switzerland, Israel, Vatican, the British Crown, and Ukraine, because they say it's 40, but I think it's more than 40 bioweapon labs, not biolabs, bioweapon, military-grade weapon labs funded by NATO, Nazis, and WHO, and Pasteur, and all other kind of European Commission. That's where they put the corona injection bioweapon together. That's where they did what Fauci created. He weaponized Fauci criminally during the weapons embargo of bioweapon development. Gain of function is bioweapon development. Gain of function in Wuhan, right? That was a lab, a military-grade weapon development lab in China with the Communist Party, and financed by Pasteur France, this famous Pasteur Institute, which is so elite, was elite, the best professors, blah, blah, blah. They were financing this to kill us. And then Fauci with Baric and other people, they're all dead already. They brought this thing back to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, right? At University of Chapel Hill. And they bred this The spikes, they weaponized the spikes that all human beings and even horses and dogs and cats have. And in Ukraine, they grew it and tested it. And then Israel became the testing ground with Pfizer. And Netanyahu was very open about it. Yeah, we are testing this in Israel with our population, health pass and injections, injecting their own people. They're mad. Not mad. These are evil, satanic people. So Switzerland is key, was key. I declare here the Swiss territory is under full control of the United States military. That includes the media. And I also declare that worldwide, all territories are under our control, full control. That's why you asked me about the question. Dear ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls also, have no more fear. Fear is gone off the earth.
When we come back after a break, Pascal-Sovereign continues his disclosure as Sovereign Radio rolls on. Ladies and gentlemen, Scotty Sachs here to tell you about the Magic Dicol family of products. You know, I started using the Nanosoma liquid spray to help relieve the stinging and burning in my feet that I was experiencing for a decade. Now, keep in mind, I was told before I started using the Nanosoma spray to give it 2 weeks to 3 weeks for every year I had neuropathy, and I'd start to feel the difference. So that's 20 to 30 weeks. Thought, what the heck, I'll give it a try. I suffered 10 years with neuropathy, but then one morning, 6 weeks into using the spray, I noticed the stinging and burning in my feet were gone. And you know what? It's been 15 months now. My feet are feeling great. No more stinging and burning. It's amazing. And guess what? My blood pressure is down 10 points too. And the lines in my forehead from the Telomerase Natural Skin Cream have dissipated. So I'm looking a little younger on camera too. Now that's quite the benefit. You know, our bodies are a miracle machine, fully capable of healing itself. So that's why we're here to help your body do miraculous things and regain your optimum health. Now is the time to learn about Magic Dicol family of products, the Nanosoma liquid spray, the Metasoma topical gel, which I use on cuts, burns, and even toothaches, and the Metasoma Telomerase Natural Skin Cream, which has some anti-aging properties. I'm really feeling and looking younger. Now, I want you to join the revolution of wellness and take your health back by signing up for the discounts, newsletters, and the latest health tips. Go to iwantmyhealthback.com/SR. SR is the promo code for Sovereign Radio, so you can help support the show. That's iwantmyhealthback.com/SR. Imagine you can unleash the power of your own body to restore itself when the Magic Dicol products trigger the nuclear receptors in your body to take care of you in ways you never imagined possible. So go to iwantmyhealthback.com/SR. That's iwantmyhealthback.com/SR and begin your journey today. Welcome back to Sovereign Radio. I'm your host, Scotty Sachs. We're doing our first midweek special edition of Sovereign Radio. Now let's jump right back into my conversation with Pascal-Sovereign.
I'll be blunt. We have them. Spaceship. We came with ships. We always had them. But Eisenhower and Kennedy found out that their own military and government are lying to the people and the president. And NASA in Hebrew means to deceive. Now we know it, right? NASA, they're all dead, finished, eliminated. There's another fake news going around. Some guy calling from the Pentagon. I'm a Pentagon guy. I shouldn't do this phone call. There is alien exchange in the eclipse. And do you think an officer of the military would call a journalist? We have voice recognition, people. So forget that. But we faked it for you. 2 messages. One for the people. Have no fear. Because if we can do that, rest assured you're protected worldwide. But it was mainly to smoke out the last rats. We are torching the barns and killing the rats, which means Freemasons, corrupt judges, lawyers, bankers, CEOs that were not layer 1, we go now layer 2. And we communicated to you on April 30th. We said, prepare for a storm. Neighbors said, tomorrow. Oh, fake news. And Trump is saying this and that. No, no, we keep the line. We kept it. And we showed you a video. We took a boat in south of France, a sailing yacht, a racing boat, 1926, and I sailed it into a storm on the 30th. And I'll tell you a little story about this. We had no wind. At the crew coming, this boat it's a racing yacht, 1926. You need 10 people to run it in a storm. And the wind was flat. And the sun was not out. And I said, oh no, this is bad. I need to show the people that we go into a storm. It's a big boat. She's 24 meters. It's a sloop, one master. Beautiful boat. And for you, for us, for the people, we the people, I have raised the Betsy flag at the stern. Maybe people didn't see it, see an American flag. No, it is an American flag. It is still valid for navigation on high sea. You can still affix the Betsy flag 7077 on your vessel, be that a tanker, a warship. It is the states of the United States, let's say Republic, flag. I put that for you there to give you a signal that things have changed, because on the 30th of April, we had an inauguration. The first president was Commander-in-Chief George Washington, General Washington. And he got inaugurated, most people don't realize that, on Wall Street in New York, in the Federal Hall, on the 30th at noon. And we sailed into the seas, and I had no wind. So I asked God, I really did that. I said, look, can you help us, please? 15 minutes later, Captain freaked out. 15 minutes later, we had a strong breeze coming up slowly, strong. We had the clouds going away like a miracle. Well, it's God, he's in charge, I told you that. And we were going at almost 20 knots. That's a lot of speed, 15, 20 knots. With a 100-year-old boat. And we had the wonderful shots for you people, right? And we went into the storm on May Day. May Day is also May Day emergency, but May Day, the Communist Day, May 1st, bang, as announced. Look at the helicopters behind me, special forces worldwide. We raided and still do now. Covertly, still covert, but now we start to arrest layer 2 and 3. There's more to arrest, of course. There's 8 million to arrest and shoot, but now 500,000 key cabal, deep state, national Zionists, Nazi means national Zionists, Jews that have been involved in crimes against humanity, corruption, etc., child trafficking. Anybody who touches a kid gets a bullet now at the doorstep. We don't go to court anymore. Children are protected globally under the US Law of War Manual. Anybody touching a kid, let me be very clear about this. It could be at the fuel station, a pedophile refuels his car. We have enough evidence, we know where they are now. Bang, finished. The brains are off. We don't even make it tribunals, too expensive to fly these people around. Pedophiles, bullet on the spot. And I want to make one point clear to everybody who's listening to this wonderful radio program. This is not a threat to the people, but I'm saying it for the bad guys. We at the Space Force can do a solar eclipse. We can do much more. We'll talk about it later. The Space Force is really a cool thing. We're recruiting now. You can go to spaceforce.center. You can go there, recruit young people. We need young guys, IT guys. You can go to space. I promise you, if you're good. We don't go with stupid old-fashioned rockets. So we are hiring worldwide now. You can type in your country, and then somebody will be in touch with you. We need people because we're recruiting for the ultimate army, that is the Space Force now, protecting our divine Earth globally. Our threat always came and comes from outer space. But your military and my commander-in-chief and current wartime President Trump will explain you in detail why. This is not my job. This is his privilege, and I want to leave it at that. We are recording, monitoring all data signals. Can you imagine? We don't only operate and control all military satellites worldwide now, including, of course, our assets, and there are many out there, right? All communications of our military networks, bases, Earth to space, Earth to air, air to space, any combination, sea, missile or not, terra, subterranean. The war was subterranean, by the way, mostly. We control your WhatsApp, not control, we monitor them, but this time not to spy on you. We don't care if you have a little affair or whatever. No, it's okay. Private stuff is private, right? We're not going to prey on your private life. Like the deep state did that. They were reading your emails. They were listening to your phone calls in the past to manipulate your elections, our elections, to manipulate you on fear. They knew exactly how everything was monitored, so they could package the food for you, the junk food of news, and they spied on your lives. Some of them were brought down, honest people. That's over. The monitoring is there because to protect the people. We, the people, are protected. And the news is coming. Of course, Sovereign Radio, best radio station in the land, but also from we the people. We are we the people. We are not CNN. I heard the sign of CNN headquarters got taken down by a crane today. We the people. President Trump told, listen to our president, please. He said, we're transferring power from the government back to the people. It was not a lie. It was a promise. And you know what? It's happening. This is why in Switzerland, in Germany, in the United States, where I am right now, or in England, they say, oh, Pascal Najadi or other people are bullshitting. It's fake news. I don't see it in the news. Idiots. We're at wartime. Title 47, USC 606, the military controls worldwide all media on purpose. We let them go. We hang them dry now, all these mass media companies, because we, the people, make the news, right? I'm giving you great news, right? And we give you documents. The documents are all over Telegram right now. Twitter, we are shutting it down. It's a Kabbalist information. Musk is gone. Look at the sign. It's Freemasonry stuff. So, but as an example, Telegram, you find stuff there now, and you have official names. Princess Diana pops up. She's not fake. She's alive. You have JFK. You have an account called JFK Junior account. Wow. At first glance, you say it's not possible, and you say it's fake news. It must be a criminal person. But hey, what if? And analyze what, for instance, the 17th letter, which I believe could be JFK Jr., by the way. Look at what Princess Diana is publishing, documents and stuff. You're seeing first-grade documents coming out, high grade, highest top secret, formally. Because Trump said it, I will rip the CIA into pieces. That's what he's done. So you're getting all the documents now. Because we, the people, are the representatives of we, the people of the government. The land is governed in the future through the military for us, and they're not politicians.
Pascal, let's talk a little bit more about the subterranean war going on. It's really good news because they're eradicating the human trafficking, $180 billion business in the United States, and they're blowing up the tunnels, are they not?
It's much bigger than that. It's a long topic, but let me say this. The interstate was a war necessity. Because was it Eisenhower who tried to move from one end to another in America, and then in the United States land, and then complained that the bloody roads were stuck, and it took him like 3 days or 4 days to go from A to B, and he said, we need interstate, right? That's a military logistic measure, clever, to move troops fast, to defend the country. The evil beings that have been since millions, but let's say in the format of thousands of years, 10,000 of years, they established bases underground. And we're talking bases and illegal cities, criminal cities that are costing up to 17 billion a pop. I make a declaration here. We blew up the Global Alliance, we blew up 10,000 subterranean bases, military bases, not of our military, of them. Those were not humans.
You say 10,000, right?
10,000. Go to Telegram. There's the one on Tonga. Wow. Look what happened there. The children were taken into tunnels by the Red Cross, by UNICEF, by the UN, delivered, and I'm not going any further here, but delivered to a certain species. And we rescued all the children. They're not just 1,000, there are 10,000, 100,000s of children. They've been kept in captivity. You have no idea. Under every synagogue, there was some kind of tunneling system too, abusing children. The Jewish have the Talmud. The Talmud denies God and worships Satan and they need sacrifice. I don't go further. Yeah.
Pascal,
Tunnels.
is that what
This
is that
war,
what
sorry, the war was mostly subterranean to eliminate the dark forces, Satan, and evil technology that was used against humanity over years, over decades. Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you. So,
Yeah, Pascal, is that what the earthquakes have been all about? There's
yes,
been tremendous earthquakes
yes,
taking place all over the earth.
yes. In the last 2 years, you had crazy under Washington, D.C., under New York State, upstate, Manhattan. You had seismic activity in the Rockies, in California, isolated, sometimes up to 4.5, very short though. Those are underground explosions. Because we're talking underground bases with tunnel systems. The United States was under-tunneled. There was a tunnel between Stockholm and Geneva for a maglev train going at Mach 4. You know what that means? That's twice the speed of Concorde. That's twice the speed of what do we have? That's 4,000 kilometers. That's like 2,000, 3,000 miles an hour. Between Stockholm and Geneva, 20 minutes.
Wow.
Alien technology.
Can you confirm tunnels were under the White House and the Vatican?
Yes, of course. The Vatican was a Jewish Nazi national Zionist organization. Pope Francis has to be shot because his shoes, and I don't go any further than that. His red shoes were made of baby skin. I don't go any further than that. It is abhorrent. You can imagine the rest. And I don't want even to incite this fantasy. Just cut it. No fear. We take care of the ugly stuff. We'll be presented the facts later. Video documented why. The tunnel was from the Vatican all the way to Israel. They were one institution worshipping Satan, the Catholic Church. God created the universe. Do you think he gave us religion to learn it? If God is in every chromosome of your body? Do you think that your mother gave you a book how to talk to her at birth? Hey, Pascal, you're born now. This is your book, and you're going to pray to me. And no, forget it. God, his name is Why. Your breath. Inhale. That's God's name. He wanted you to know that he's with you. I'm not kidding. This is his name.
That's really a beautiful thing to hear that. That's so powerful.
It's not Allah. You can call him God. That's no insult, but don't call him anything else than that. It is your own breath. He wanted to make sure that you have at any time in a dark alley, by the way, night will be removed, but in a difficult situation, a soldier, for instance, in a tunnel fighting, they are risking their lives. You know how tough it is to go underground to fight a dangerous enemy that is, I call them category monsters. We had helps from outer space, of course, to help us, to protect us, humanity, and that's God's work. But this is a horror show. And you don't want to know what they went through. Those military servicemen and women, the brave people, they had
Can't
to fight
imagine
this.
what they've seen. Cannot
You don't
imagine
want
what they've
you
seen.
don't. And there's a lot of trauma. Don't forget that at war, we the deep state showed us the CNN thing. Tomorrow we're bombing Baghdad. And then you saw these fireworks and people were insensitive. There were millions dying under these bombs, right? Vietnam, Afghanistan, all these wrong wars and using the good soldiers for wrong wars. What happened to the veterans from Vietnam? They came back traumatized. Nobody took care of them. The veterans are on the streets. This cannot be. A veteran or elderlies, we take care of them.
War crimes against humanity.
Yeah. So, to sum it up, the underground war has been going on since a long, long time. Long, long time. And that's why you didn't see the tanks in the streets. And you say, oh, there's wartime, I see no tanks. To protect your senses, one, we go in and take out people maybe in civil clothes with machine guns under the belt, and we just go to an office, take a CEO out, bang. That's how we do it, right? Is war. It doesn't necessarily mean we have to go into uniform. I have a leather jacket. Oh, I have a badge here, but maybe the badge is covered and that's just a cool jacket, right? But maybe a big gun here. What do we know? War is about deception. They have used deception to nearly exterminate our human species. Well, guess what? We know Sun Tzu inside out. And they're good principles, by the way. They are simple principles to understand. And we have used deception, of course we did. And as President Trump said, we will not tell the enemy what we do next, but attack we will.
You did say Sun Tzu, The Art of War, right?
Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu. That's The Art of War, the book, The Art of War. Isn't there a book?
The Art of War. Online, you see the most biggest, easiest to understand principles you can get online. Free of charge. General Flynn, Comrade General Flynn, great guy.
Great man. We interviewed him last week. He's a great man.
Yeah, he has a master degree in Sun Tzu, I think. He really has. He's a master degree.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, no. He's something else. He's a superhero and a super soldier. And yeah, proud to know him, to communicate with him.
Can you talk a little bit about the non-human species that have been in bed with the deep state, with the globalist cabal? They have been aligned with some species. I don't know what you'd call them, but is that true?
That's true. Look, let's go for better understanding to the pharaohs. Let's start there. Those things are much older than the people say. And the pyramid, who had the license of all access to the pyramid, the Great Pyramid? NASA, a Hebrew, Jewish, Nazi, Zionist, Jewish organization, NASA, had the rights to use the pyramid. It was an energy. It's an energy transformator. It's not a grave of a pharaoh. It's bullshit. Sorry, my French. The threats that attacked our human species came from outer space. They experimented with the DNA of God and created human species. So we have blood group 0- and 0+. We're extraterrestrial, original. I'm from the 5th dimension, Arcturian. We'll get all that later. We can move dimensions and stuff, time travel. Yeah, it exists. My watch is from 1947. That's when the Air Force got founded. Still works. This one is 100 years old.
How long have you had that watch?
Well, doesn't matter. It's 100 years old.
It's a 100-year-old watch,
This one is 1947. A pilot's watch. Look, time is fluid, by the way. Time and space is a lie. Einstein was a lie to attack Nikola Tesla, to make him poor and ruin him. Einstein was not a clever guy. That's all bullshit. Einstein IQ, bullshit. He was a Jewish Nazi, National Zionist. They put him in place like Hawkins, the wheelchair guy. Yeah. He was on Epstein Island doing satanic rituals with children. That guy in the wheelchair, he was just an actor. He was a cripple, and they paid him well, and he was a Satanist. He wrote 600 books, right? You write 600 books. Fuck that. Time and
up. Did he freeze?
Space is wrong. The time fabric goes on. Where's the evidence for that? None. Yeah. The time, Einstein said it goes forward, right? Then he came with this bullshit to confuse people with relativity. Bollocks. What if I tell you that the time is fake news itself? And what if I tell you, if you wouldn't have the oppression of society on sun and moon, night and day, the prison of night and day, which oppresses time on you, the notion of time, night and day, right? 12 and 12 hours. What if I tell you have a paradise where always the real sun is shining? There's no limitation to your life, and that you have no worries, no fear, and it's governed by love only and by light and truth. That's what you will get very soon. That's what God intended for you. He really did. And God never lied, right? God never says no, by the way. He always says yes. And your president, or our current wartime president, never lied as well. President Trump never lied. Never, ever. Look at his family. Great kids. Everything super duper integral. And General Flynn, there's some rumors going around. There's some guy, what's it, Mark Jill. He's like pulling dirt on General Flynn. Hey, Jill, we're coming for you. You're done. We know where you are. You're a Mossad asset. You're a Nazi. Not even a German Nazi. You're an Israeli Nazi. We know everything about you. He's been saying that pedo stuff on General Flynn and trying to. We've got some real traitors in the Republican Party. Yeah, but now we smoked them out. And how do we do it? We torch the barn. And who brings the news out? We, the people, and Sovereign Radio. So this is the power of the people, because we make the truth, we bring the truth. We don't make the truth. We observe the truth. We report the truth. Because we, the people, we are stronger than any government. We are human beings, and we stick together. We are one now.
Can you confirm? Confirm that Hillary Clinton, Klaus Schwab, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Greta Thunberg, have they been tried by a military tribunal and eradicated?
Yes. They got. Some of them got tortured. Don't torture. We don't do that. They get the small cell. It's like really small. They got that. But some of them, we tortured them in the sense that they had to watch the time go by, the fake time. And of course, we interviewed them and grilled them. And again, no torture. But then boom. Mrs. Clinton was hanged. And our president was watching it as he was dangling until she finished. Some of them get the fast track, the brain's out, bullet. Like Biden, I think he got the whole brain, like half the skull went the other way. These are not human beings. They deserve the bullet and quick trials. As President Trump said, I spoke to Xi, my colleague, and they got fast trials. Bang, bang, bang. Listen to your president. He's not joking. People think he's joking. No, he's dead serious. We're at war, huh? Don't forget that. So, yes, Obama gone, traitor, because Clinton's and Obama's and Biden's 2016. And let's drop this truth bomb here. Julian Assange is soon to be decorated because he's not in prison. He's not in Balmarsh high security prison. He's not. I promise you he's not, because he's a hero. Why? Our US military intelligence, not President Trump, our US military intelligence, Q, and with the help of Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, were able to make a counter coup against the Clintons, who tried to make a coup d'etat in 2016, take control of our land, and then kill the world, rolling out COVID much earlier with the lethal bioweapon injections. We would not be talking today if it were not for Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, with their brilliant minds hacking into, of course, Clinton's communications. And, the election was stolen. And I have to say this because people say, oh, it was rigged by the Trump. No. The military cut off the illegal vote flow, the illegal fraud vote flow, the illegal ballots from Clinton's in the last moment, that the president-elect became president-elect. In the narrow, remember, he came in the last run, he won the race, legally correct, constitutionally conform, clean, with his real votes, because we blocked the pipeline of Clinton's, which was funneling fake, criminal, fraudulent votes, ballot papers into the election process. Space Force has all the data, will be released. Space Force is good. Wait, we need young people. Go and we need people. And this is it. We caught them all. As President Trump said, he made a press conference. You see, he's so transparent. I'm not selling you Trump, by the way. I like him. He's a great president. He's in charge. He's one of the best ever had, next to JFK and probably George Washington. But that's not the issue. We're talking military. The military came first, remember? First came the military to screw up the Brits with the Nazi Germans in the Delaware crossing, right? Remember that? Trenton. And first came the military, and then came the constitution, the government later. So the military was first. What you're seeing now is the effect of Q, let's call it hero, John F. Kennedy, president, and the military intelligence since then planning and doing this war for you. So it's
So
not about
Pascal, would you say that the subsequent elections were a sting operation?
the Biden one.
Yeah, 18, 20, 22.
Yeah, of course, because Napoleon said it, right? Remember Napoleon? He was a great strategist, by the way. He was a good guy. Napoleon, they killed him too, right? Deep state. He said, never interrupt the enemy if he makes a mistake. That's exactly what we have done. The Swiss government was stupid enough, thank God. I talk about the Swiss government now. They walked flat into our stratagems, into our ruse. They thought Biden is elected. They thought Kamala Harris is there. They thought Blinken, all these people are in power. NATO, Stoltenberg, von der Leyen, the Arabs, they all thought, wow, now we can do the corruption game. The Democrats are in power. We can go and, yeah, they went for the kill, literally, and we killed them. So, yes, it was fake, a sting operation to catch them. You see, we cannot kill people without evidence. Remember that. We cannot say, this is a junta, they are Satanists, they're killing people, deep state, what they've done, murdering people, and then do the same. We can't do that. We must be on the right side of the Constitution. And we can only do these things once we have confirmed crimes and evidence against those traitors. And by the way, the game was huge. This is a huge battlefield of collecting first the evidence, making them make the wrong mistakes, the crimes. When it comes to children, we executed them early enough because we didn't take any risk on children. So Tom Hanks, we took him out a long time ago because he was one of the main, what do you call that, furnishers of children to this. So we cut all those off. We killed them all immediately up front or took them out. Those actors, Hollywood, you can buy houses, they're collapsing because there's no more films, right? Because all of Hollywood has been killed by us, executed. There's only a few actors which are clean. God bless them that they are human species. But all of them, we had to, so with children, we couldn't take the risk to wait and see till the enemy makes more. No. Children, we immediately, bang, and still do. But the political games in Switzerland, NATO, Germany, all those, fucks, we caught them red-handed in each country. WHO, 194 leaders, Davos, WEF. Your question was, are they gone? Yes, they are gone. I confirm to you. Klaus Schwab is gone. The United Nations in Geneva, the headquarters are shut, closed. You can drive by. There's no office. Finished. Executed. Guterres, where is he? Gone. John Kerry, where is he? Gone. Greta Thunberg, bang. She was satanic. I confirm to you. She was non-human. She's a transvestite. Is a boy. Her uncle was George Soros. Once you know, you know.
I kind of figured she was related to Soros.
It's a he, dude.
He.
Yeah.
Not surprising.
Satan. And no, she came from outer space on top of all. I mean, pure evil. And I say to her, how dare you? How dare you? Bang. And
how dare you?
The Zionist Jews, they came around and said, oh, we're Jewish, we are chosen by God. Oh, really? Really? What a lie, a satanic lie. I tell all the Jews now, yes, you are chosen right now by us, by God, by God. He chose you right now to exterminate you. I make it anti-Semitic? Yes, I am. We have free speech. Yes, I am. I'm not politically correct. We're in a wartime. All COVID participants on the vaccines, on CDC, Bill Gates, Schwab, they all were Jews and all had Israeli passports. All of them. Okay, enough. So
just to confirm, everybody involved in the jab, we call it the jab, the vaccine,
bang.
Everybody is being eliminated.
Obliterated.
Good news.
Goulash. And I make a warning. Mothers, don't eat McDonald's anymore. McDonald's is a Jewish Nazi organization feeding, I just don't want to talk about it here, but abhorrent stuff in those burgers. I'm not kidding you. Red shoes, the Pope had red shoes. Think about it. It's a cult. Don't go to McDonald's. I destroy them now. We take them apart brutally. It's a Jewish organization feeding ugly stuff in those burgers. Ugly stuff. I cannot say more. It's too ugly to talk about on a radio here. Don't go to any fast food. You have buy beef and natural food. The farmers love you for it. They work very hard for it. But the question was, sir, are these bad, evil people gone? Yes, they're gone. And the last bit will be Israel. And of course, Netanyahu is also a mask carrier. I mean, the guy that you see is not Netanyahu, of course. They're all satanic. They were doing satanic rituals, abusing children for thousands of years. Okay, enough. The axis of evil, which nearly exterminated our human species, Switzerland, Vatican, British Crown, Ukraine, Israel.
You
As
often,
president, yeah.
You often use the term democide. Can you explain that a little more to the audience?
I do, with pleasure. Well, no, it's abhorrent to talk about it, but genocide came mainly from the Holocaust, which was fake news too, by the way. Did you know that Stalin and Hitler in 43, it's coming out now, on 33, they signed an agreement. And they were in bed together. Nazis, National Zionists. Hitler killed 3.5 million non-Jews in concentration camps. Non-Jews, Christians. Opposition, as we say. So, genocide is a genome, a gene. The Jews made a trick with Hitler. They said Hitler made blood tests, and that because I had a trace of my grandmother was Jewish, I had to go to the KZ. That's how they established in our minds, wow, there's a Jewishness. That's fake. They were like you and me, but alien. But they were not. There's no Jewishness. There's no Jewish race. Doesn't exist. There's Caucasian, that's different. Or Asian, that's different. But there's no Jewishness, chosen Jewish. No. Genocide was against, I don't want to say the word, but a skin color, for instance, a ethnic group like Rwanda, right? Two ethnic groups, tribes, tribal. A flag is a genocide. If I make it as a commander, I say we kill all the Germans tomorrow, that's genocide. Genome, something you have. Democide is getting assassinated, murdered by the state. Because demographics, democide from unborn babies to elderly, like my mother, people. He's not dead yet. No. He's not dying. But just saying, we lost a lot. We lost 1 billion people. Billion human species, fellow human species. I think 400 million children and teenagers. It's unfathomable. And I say to that, democide, that's what they have done.
Are you saying the deep state murdered 1 billion people is what you're saying?
Nazis, the National Zionist Jews, wanted to exterminate our God-given divine human species. And we caught them, and God is very angry. Guess what happens? That's what you see now. We're killing them all. We're taking them off Earth, actually. Not kidding you. And we will be united as one. And divine human species and divine animals, please be nice to the animals. They have a soul. And they feel for you. Not just the cats and dogs. Every animal that you see. We eat them. We are allowed to do that. We need to feed ourselves. That's fine. But don't torture them. And be nice to them. And plants too. Look at that. We have a wild cat. We have an American Maine Coon. He's 1 year old. He's a bit silly. Silly meaning he's young, right? We have an orchid here in the States on the table, an orchid flower. It's his girlfriend. Every morning he's talking to this, he's around this flower. And if you try to touch the flower, he goes like, So the wonders of life are about to be discovered because humanity was not meant to suffer in an office 9 to 5, was not meant to pay taxes. I declare to you, you will never pay taxes again. You will never pay taxes again. And you get, I let the bonus again. I don't want to take the show here from my president, please not. Only good things will come out. Really, believe me, I promise you that. Only good things. But before that, you have to see the end of the horrible truth with your own eyes. If we tell you just it happened and you didn't see it yourself, you know how it is. People don't believe you, right? It's easier to con someone, another human being, than to tell the truth. And one last thing, our divine human species, we don't go to war against each other. We don't hit each other. We can't hit each other. We are infiltrated by humanoids. They are the ones who start the fight, who hurt the child, and worse. We will never have war anymore. We will one nation now, Earth, one army, Space Force. There you go. Yeah. Cool sign. God is with you, with us, believe you me. And the injustice and pain that we went through for generations pre-Christ, we were enslaved. The Jews said it. This is the sub-race, right? They called us insects. Some rabbi talked to us that we should eat our own whatever. That's how they look at us. The golai, what they call these things, you know? No. You can't talk about another. You can't. You need to. We have to speak with respect and love to each other, because it's like a mirror, right? If I'm rude and ugly to somebody in the street, take a mirror. It will come back to you. It's not good. We make those mistakes. I know when you're angry, it's human, right? But more consciousness. We're here to help each other. We can do a lot more.
Final question, and we appreciate all the time today. Will the world see a shutdown in an emergency broadcast system? Is the EBS coming?
Look, that's a military secret. It's not my decision, because the button will be pushed by JFK and the current wartime president of the United States, and maybe JFK Jr. I heard he's alive. He is alive. This is a military operation. Now, we could do it now. But the question is the playbook, right? It's a film. And every film has an ending. And like a firework presentation, fireworks, right? There's music. And then at the end, people always wait for that, right? The crescendo, the finale, and the wonderful fireworks, and the bam, 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 and the beautiful scene. And then boom, quiet. I've been asked this question, what the situation was back home in Switzerland. I said, look, the Swiss people are fed up. They are at the limit, psychologically, financially, in their sadness. They lost people. They lost, the COVID injections, bioweapon. Everybody's at the limit, at the limit. But sometimes we had to bring them to the limit. And it's not my call. This is not my privilege. I'm not a spokesman of the military. I am allowed to talk because I can. But I'm not going to make speculation. However, if the channels, these are serious channels like the 17th letter, or Flynn makes a remark, General Flynn, excuse me, and gives you between the lines and say, hey, get some fuel, stock, some steaks and stuff. This will be maybe necessary. I don't know if it will happen. Maybe it's a roaming lockdown. Maybe, we go statewide, not to shut down the whole, I don't know. Something must happen though, because otherwise people don't believe us. And the Swiss people at home say, where is the military? We never see them. We don't believe you anymore. Yeah, that's the problem we have, right? People need to see it. But you won't see the tanks going through your garden. You will see military. I think
the point is there will be full disclosure about everything, right?
Everything. As President Kennedy said, secret societies, we don't want them. We don't have them. We have military secrets. Yes, we're defending Earth now. We need them. But Masonry, secret society, why do you have to be in a secret gentleman club like Davos, then grow into a monster, or the UN? No. Why secrecy? If you are an honest person, you can talk about your mistakes as an honest person, as my weaknesses, because we love each other. We would never criticize somebody for saying, hey, I have a problem with alcohol. It's okay. We can talk about it. Why secret? Drinking in secret? No. Secrecy. belongs to the military to defend against outer space now. But everything else is, as you said, sir, full disclosure. And the word disclosure is not fake news or opinion making. Google it. It means making public, formerly secret information. We're doing that with you. Go to Telegram or other channels. You see secret documents, secret, in your face, and their face value, because we just emptied the CIA and say, okay, boom, here we go. FBI.
Pascal Najati, we can't thank you enough for all your time today.
No, don't thank me. Thank God, please.
I want to thank you especially. You're now serving in our military, so we thank you very much for serving in the military and the Space Force. Very exciting time to be, the greatest time to be alive, isn't it?
It is. And you see, it's the only war which has bravery, this one, because it ends all wars. Please thank God, please, and all the men and women worldwide of the military doing the dirty, ugly, dangerous, deadly war. And please thank President Trump, current wartime president, and his staff, because the man is 77. He's done over 100 presentations on stage. He's done more than Pink Floyd and rock stars, you know. He has a private life to 77. I wouldn't want to do that, frankly. I would like, after all this hard work and money he made, honest money, at 77 to go. He's doing it, right? For the people, for we the people. And I respect that. And this is the highest, noblest thing a president can do. And JFK started it. And his son, JFK Jr., and his family, they're fine. And yeah, the rest you'll find out from them. Not my
great note to close on. Thank you so much. God bless you,
yes,
sir.
God bless you all. And God is in you. Remember, don't be afraid anymore. Fear is gone. If necessary.
How can our listening audience find you?
Look, what I will do, thank you for asking. Telegram, Pascal Najati, easy. There's fake channels out there. Don't go for them. I never sell anything, okay? Nothing. Not even belief system. I don't. We disclose. Telegram and in Rumble, it's Neutral Swiss. I'm not proud of that name anymore, but I did this 3 years ago before I was briefed what they were doing. And it's called Neutral Swiss. One word.
You're on Truth Social too, aren't you?
Truth Social, of course, President Trump's. Yes, of course, because Musk has booted me. Yes, sorry. Of course, Truth Social, great, truth. And on General Flynn's locals, also equally super. You can speak your mind. Nobody will hurt you. You can also read good stuff on Truth Social and locals, because they are people now gathering, not just patriots. We're not Republican and Democrats anymore. We are one divine human species. We're governed by light, love, and truth. That's what you get at Truth Social and Telegram. Yeah, you get that. So Rumble, I will publish this interview with a bit more pepper and salt. I put some documents there. Sovereign Radio, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Great people. You're informing the people the right way. And I thank you very, very much. It's an honor to be on your show. And very soon you'll find out everything. I mean, it's already now fine, but you will. A new life comes for everybody equally.
This was a great start.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bless you, yeah.
Roger that. Thank you for guidance. 97 Alpha Romeo Sierra. I'm going with our Russian friends now. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Peace do I mean, and what kind of a peace do we seek? Not a Pax Americana, enforced on the world by American weapons of war. Not the peace of the grave or the security of the slave. I am talking about genuine peace, the kind of peace that makes life on earth worth living, the kind that enables men and nations to grow and to hope and build a better life for their children. Not merely peace for Americans, but peace for all men and women. Not merely peace in our time, but peace in all time.
Dear fellow human species, dear comrades of all military organizations, of the military, all patriots, I wanted to give you a special message today on Pentecost, on Whit Sunday 2024. It took us more than 60 years to get rid of evil and Satan from our divine earth, and you will be gifted with the life that God has intended you to live in liberty, with freedom,